visit Laitram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans. Leidenheimer French bread.
Oh, boy.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your
Norm?
sure would help a lot.
Woody Harrelson has made a hell of a career since his early days with Cheers, huh?
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
I'm going to the beach right now. The next 2 hours, 4 Cheers reruns from like 45 years ago, back to back to back to back. 4 Cheers episodes, 30 minutes each, coming your way next till 6 p.m. But first, yeah, no Cheers programs. Go check it out on YouTube, like this program. Now on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Click to subscribe. Yeah, you, right. Thanks for finding us on your radio dial. Thanks for finding us on your television set. Thanks for checking us out. CoreyTalks.com. Our website has all the information where you can check us out on radio, where you can check us out on TV, links to live streaming, including YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson, CoreyTalks.com. Corey spelled Kaare, CoreyTalks.com. Wide open Wednesday. What a nice weather day in New Orleans. A little cool this morning, not like cold at all, but like in the 60s, and it was overcast and a little bit of a breeze. It was damp, kind of humid and cool. And then for a little while, the sun tried to peep out, and boy, the temperature during that time skyrocketed about 10 degrees. But then the clouds came rolling back over, and pretty much staying where we are now, kind of overcast, some sunshine. But temperatures, I'm going to guess, 70 maybe. I don't even think. I'm going to go with like 68. That's my guesstimation. 73. Wow. That's almost warm. 72% humidity. Feels like 75. It's really nice outside. Yeah, the low this morning was 59 degrees. So that explains a little of that cool feeling. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all 60s, fading into the 70s, kind of like today. Could see a chance of rain tomorrow and Friday. Might see some on Sunday. All of this can change. You got to just keep up. You got plans? You going hunting, fishing, golf, tennis, landscaping, going for a walk, walking the dog, outdoors activity, going to the beach, outdoor party, whatever, event. You got to just stay on top of it. You know the drill. I'm not dogging weathermen or meteorologists. It's just not a perfect deal. Not a perfect science. Wide open Wednesday. No, if you do outdoor stuff, running, jogging, whatever the other stuff I mentioned, anything and everything that concerning the outdoors, and you do it regularly, you probably get in 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5-ish events when there's like a 30-40% chance of rain for that day. That stuff can change so quickly. I mean, when they got the 100% gimmick going, it's for like 2 or 3 days straight. You're like, yeah, a few of these days are going to be a washout. I mean, they're going all out with that. But when it's 20-30%, who knows? Hey, the 4 o'clock hour on this wide open Wednesday brought to you by Lebanon's Cafe. Have you been to Lebanon's Cafe lately? Do you like lamb chops? A half dozen lamb chops, this like green bean and onion, veggie, medley grilled. That's on the side with the 6 lamb chops. And then you get 2 Middle Eastern sides to go with that, like tabbouleh and hummus, baba ganoush, whatever you like. 20-something bucks. Maybe the best lamb chop deal anywhere. Hard to find 6 raw lamb chops at the grocery that you got to bring home to cook. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette, right by the streetcar barn. Some of the city's finest Middle Eastern food. Lebanon's Cafe. I like weather like this, outdoor dining under that green awning, under the oak trees, the streetcar passing by. Carrollton's only 1 lane right there. You know, it's in between Claiborne's and the river bend. That's just nice, outdoor dining at Lebanon's Cafe. Open till 9:30, 7 days a week, 11 a.m., straight through till 9:30. That means right now at 10 after 4, you can go enjoy some nice outdoor dining at Lebanon's Cafe. This is a godsend for the folks down in St. Bernard where life is hard, hard, hard. The St. Bernard Port Authority has to decide to support this godsend or not. Excuse me, I'm saying that backwards. Let me start that over again. The St. Bernard Port Authority, the St. Bernard Port Authority must decide to support the parish, the St. Bernard Parish lawsuit against the Louisiana International Terminal or not. Get on board with the parish on the lawsuit to stop the Port of New Orleans expansion into St. Bernard Parish. This is going to end up being like a $2 billion plus terminal for containers with big cranes like Napoleon Avenue, Nashville, right on the river, uptown New Orleans. Those big blue cranes, you can see them from all over the city. You can see them from the high rise all over. They pick those containers off the ship. They bring them on the land. They stack them on land. They go from there to 18-wheelers to trains. The Port of New Orleans, that Nashville facility, the Napoleon facility, even with expansion and more cranes, places like Mobile, Alabama, have surpassed the Port of New Orleans in number of containers each year now. The Port of Gulfport is very aggressive in containers. So no, New Orleans needs this state-of-the-art, modern international terminal. It's Metro New Orleans. And when I say, boy, for St. Bernard Parish, what a godsend, what a godsend. For St. Bernard Parish, this thing is a godsend. You're talking about hundreds of jobs. You're talking about a few thousand during construction, but hundreds of permanent jobs, all the spin-off stuff that's going to be around it. Gas station, po' boy stand, restaurant, bar room, whatever. Dry cleaner, whatever. It's progress. It's money. It's exactly what St. Bernard needs. But then there's a lot of folks, just a lot of folks in general, don't want any change. There are a lot of folks that are like, we like St. Bernard exactly like it is, the lazy community that it is kind of thing. And I don't mean lazy in a negative way, like quiet, peaceful, away from the city. City's right there. It's nice like it is. This will disrupt all that. I say it's a godsend for St. Bernard. You should be embracing it. But you don't want like the Louis Armstrong International Airport built, and then later we'll worry about the access road. You need both of them built simultaneously. That terminal's being built and the access road from Violet to I-510, elevated expressway, no stoplights, not on the ground, and a hurricane evacuation route from Violet and St. Bernard Parish to I-510, elevated I-510 above, 95% of any kind of flooding conditions. Now that's needed for St. Bernard, but that's how you parlay at St. Bernard. We're all for the for the international terminal. The road has to be being built at the exact same time. All money for the road, same time. They open simultaneously. You cut the ribbon on the terminal the same day you're cutting the ribbon on the road. And then if I'm St. Bernard, I really parlay this and say, guys, we need some kind of, at the very least, soft commitment and a plan moving forward where this Florida Avenue Expressway is eventually built, connecting Paris Road, a.k.a. I-510, this new Violet to I-510 road from the International Terminal, straight west to basically Florida Boulevard and Elysian Fields Avenue by the Lowe's, hooking into I-10 and I-610. No, St. Bernard deserves it all. Should I get into a new Mississippi River Bridge at I-510? Corey Johnson with you on a Wednesday.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models, and it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
We hear a story every other day about
Corey Johnson
eating a baby. Why?
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Running free, eating the baby's feet.
Wow. Corey Johnson back at you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Thanks so much for joining us. The St. Bernard Port Authority must decide to support the parish lawsuit against the Louisiana International Terminal or not. I hope it's or not. St. Bernard Parish should be embracing the Louisiana International Terminal. It's a transformative project in a positive way. It's not the expansion of a chemical plant or an oil and gas refinery throwing out cancer-causing toxins. It's a container terminal moving containers off of ships with big cranes like you see on Nashville Napoleon Avenue, the Napoleon Container Terminal, those big blue cranes, putting them on land, moving them from land to a truck, to an 18-wheeler, to a train, to rail. It's very clean. It's hundreds of jobs. It's great for St. Bernard, and it's going to grow the port there. What you need to do is embrace it with a caveat. That's part of the plan anyway. You're just holding the folks, at their word. Hey, guys, we don't want the Louis Armstrong International Airport thing, a brand new terminal, and then the access road from the interstate not built for years later. We want to break ground on the international terminal in Violet. Thumbs up on that $2 billion plus project. We're glad to work in partnership with the Port of New Orleans. We're embracing your project. You're also breaking ground on the roadway from Violet, the elevated roadway from Violet to I-510, where local residents won't pay and trucks will pay a toll to ride on it from the terminal to the I-510. Eventually, guys, just see how well what your word's worth. We want to work on that Florida Avenue Expressway that Corey Johnson's always talking about. I-510 to essentially Florida Avenue at Elysian Fields by that Lowe's, in between the I-10 and the I-610, where it all will all link together. So no, I'm St. Bernard Parish. I embrace the terminal. Only if the terminal ground, you're breaking ground on the terminal at the same time you're breaking ground on the elevated road from Violet to the I-510. Yeah, and the gravy, the lanyap is, we'd really like that Florida Avenue Expressway. And St. Bernard folks, you really want me to take it up another level? Instead of that ferry, it should be a new Mississippi River bridge, like the Luling Bridge, even more modern, nicer, but something like that, a suspension bridge that's beautiful. That St. Bernard folks would love, that it would be one of the bridges that we'd all be, proud of in the metro area, that it's here. And then it would connect to the West Bank, and eventually, who knows, LA 23 might be like an extension, like a spur going off eventual I-49, which is the West Bank Expressway all the way to Kansas City, Missouri eventually. Right now, they're bits and pieces of it. You can ride it through, West Bank, Avondale, down to Booty, through Paradis, Des Allemands, down by Raceland, by LA1, 308, and then you continue on down and you got Thibodaux North, Homa South, right through Morgan City, beelining up through Jeanerette into Franklin, Jeanerette, into New Iberia, straight up into Lafayette, where it goes now. Anyway, the I-510 is really like the eastern edge of New Orleans interstate loop. I-310 in Luling is the western edge of New Orleans interstate loop. The I-10 is sort of the top of the loop, which is connected right now to I-310 and I-510, and I-49 is the West Bank section, essentially. And then there'd be a spur that would connect at this Mississippi River Bridge at Chalmette, going in the same spot it goes in right now in Algiers. or Plaquemine, where the ferry is launched, and goes into St. Bernard, the same spot in and out, but a Mississippi River bridge. The Chalmette folks are freaking out. That was once the master plan. I've posted some of this stuff on Twitter, including some maps of what New Orleans East was supposed to look like. Now the Bayou Sauvage wetland, but those exits to nowhere. First off, the Michoud exit really isn't the Michoud exit. It's really, it would have been named another road. You could get to Michoud. You exit off that, and the first right would be Michoud, where you're forced to go today. But that's not the road. The road goes due south, and Michoud it eventually does by looping around. But you exit and then immediately hook a right to get on Michoud. The road's supposed to go straight into that wetland. And the next two exits are supposed to go due south, like Michoud really goes to nowhere. The quote Michoud exit, it could be, you want to call it First Street? The next exit to nowhere, Second Street. The third street exit to nowhere, Third Street. They've basically taken the entrance and exit roads off. You used to be able to exit on those and go over the bridge and U-turn, but they got rid of them. I don't know, burying dead bodies, crime going on, whatever. The bridges don't do anything. I mean, I'm running for mayor in New Orleans. I'm like, that wetland? All right, first off, it's like a dying wetland. So I'd be like, I'm going to have some developers come in and maybe 100 acres on one side of the exit, 100 on the other, on both of those exits to nowhere, develop those like Venetian Isles, like Slidell, like Eden Isles or Oak Harbor, where you can pull your boat into your backyard of your house and get off your boat on a dock and walk into your house from the back and walk out the front door, and there's your driveway and your car in a street, and you drive off like Miami. It's set up for it. It would be easy. You'd just be putting little fingers out there of land that's going to be flood protection for the city, for New Orleans East. And then you have those developers, guys. You're building 150 acres on this side, 150 on the other, 100 here, whatever, 200 there, 200 here, whatever. You got to build double or triple of cypress trees in this wetland, or some kind of marsh creation in Lake Bourne or something where we're getting some use of these exits into this, we're getting an exemption from the feds. They're going to let us develop a little bit of Bayou Sauvage, like 5% of it, a few hundred acres of the thousands and thousands of acres of Bayou Sauvage. We're going to develop a few hundred, and we're going to develop a few thousand acres of wetland. These developers are going to have to build it to do this deal. I mean, get creative. Let's figure out all these angles, but I would get all that going again. And if you've ever seen maps of what it was going to be, I mean, it's all those roads connect to Chef Highway eventually. And it's neighborhoods and golf course communities and parks and public schools and all kind of different stuff like you'd see in Atlanta or Dallas or Houston, today in Austin and Nashville, Vegas, Phoenix, wherever. The name of that development, Orlandia, not Orlando, Orlandia, Orlandia. Walmart and Target. It's so funny. I read this entire article. I should repost it on Twitter. I forget even the source. It was a reputable source. But I read the entire article about Walmart and then maybe even Target. They're eliminating self-checkout. And I mean, the first assumption right away is theft. The final paragraph they talk about with self-checkout instead of a human checkout, sometimes there could be an increase in theft. It's like, oh, really? Really? Now, the Walmart on Tchoupitoulas in the Riverbend has a reputation of being number one or near the top of all Walmarts in America when it comes to shoplifting. So Take it whatever it's worth. I think the Walmart Target shopper, you're buying a lot of stuff. Some of these folks you see them, big family. You're going to have 2 carts full of stuff. And then you get some people that, I don't know, they're adults. They're married. They have kids. Some people are single doing this. But I think sadly, I don't think it's just like criminals and people that just steal all the time. They're taking advantage of the self-checkout. That definitely takes place. I bet you 50% of it is that. People proactively let me go in, and I'm strictly going in there to steal a bunch of crap through the self-checkout. They never have a human checking the receipts on the way out, whatever. No humans at all, just self-checkout. But the other 50%, people that just, I'm not going to pay. Those Kleenex, they want $7. Just going to put that in the bag. And it's probably bought 100 things and they didn't pay for 3 of them. And then you got the guy who walks out with 20 things in his bag and all he did was pay for 3 of them. So, Walmart and Target having a problem with self-checkout. That's a bummer. I like personal service. I'd rather personal service. I'd rather just go to someone, let them check out my stuff if it's quick and efficient. But if it's slow or the cashier doesn't like their job, has a bad attitude, especially if there's a line, self-checkout's available, kaboom, I'm heading over to the self-checkout.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. New Orleans East, Lincoln Beach. I'm kind of having a problem. It looked like like they're getting $4 million more dollars on top of the $24 million that the city's getting to redo Lincoln Beach. So now it's like $28 million. Like they got $24 million to redo the beach, and now they got another $4 million to put this bridge from the parking lot over Hayne Boulevard, over the flood wall, over the train tracks, back down on the other side. If you've ever been to Crescent Park, I mean, it's pretty damn impressive. It really is. It's a pretty damn well-conceived, well-done first-class park. Can't wait for these 2 wharfs, Esplanade, what is that, Governor Nichols, where they're transformed. They're going to be partially torn down. Some of it kept, like the shed where you can go underneath for concerts and stuff, modernized, and then hooking up the moonwalk to, the Crescent Park. It's amazing. But Crescent Park, and this is probably a block or so east of Elysian Fields at the river. There's this tower where you can go up steps or you can get in an elevator. And I guess it goes up about, I'm guessing 3 or 4 stories. And then you get out on a platform where the steps end and the elevator opens. And there's just a linear bridge over the train tracks. And then there's another tower on the other side where you go down the steps or get in the elevator on the other side and go down whatever, 2, 3 floors, whatever it is, to the ground level, and you're inside the park. This is the same kind of setup, essentially, almost exactly the same thing. It's 2 towers that have stairwells and an elevator in each one and a bridge connecting the 2 towers. In this case, it'll be from the parking lot across the street of Lincoln Beach, which still exists. The signage should be, it's been there forever, it's been neglected for 60 years. But the poles and the signage, like arrow, all that should be redone. And Lincoln Beach, make it look like the original beach from the 50s, going into the early 60s before they shut it down. Same parking lot, which still exists today. Nothing's been developed on it for 60 years, just overgrown with weeds. There'll be a tower built, a bridge going over Hayne, going over the flood wall, over the train tracks. The other tower's right in Lincoln Beach. Get out, you're at Lincoln Beach. But I don't know. Reading the article, it looks like it's part of the $24 million. So it's like, why are you telling me like the breakdown, like this new, is the $24 million fully there or not? That's what I understood. That's locked and loaded, done. In the idea or the plan, and we need this legislation passed, it's all done. The money's coming in, it's done. Now I see another $4 million for this bridge which I don't remember that being necessarily part of the original plan. Maybe it always was, but so I'd love to tell you it's 24 million plus 4 million more, about 28, 29 million, or is it just 24 million and this bridge was always part of the project? I guess if there's some good news, if it's the latter, the bridge and the restoration's all fully funded. But the really ideal good news, it's an additional 4 million for this bridge because there's no other way to enter it. Walk across dangerous Hain Boulevard as far as just, 4-lane road, people going down, maybe not seeing you. You're on the lake, foggy conditions, nighttime, whatever. Then you have to go across the train tracks and go through a tunnel that's often flooded or climb over the flood wall. It's not ideal. It's not ideal at all. This would make it like it should be. The Times-Picayune, NOLA.com piece, it kind of sums up Louisiana, sadly. The photo is incredible. Kudos to the Times-Pic photographer. This Pelican Point, what is it, Pelican Commons or something, neighborhoods outside of where is it? I guess Gonzales. Huge development. I used to play that golf course 25 years ago when it was just getting going. Now there's hundreds of homes. And literally right on the side of it is these huge red clay pits, this toxic red mud that is a byproduct of making not aluminum. We always make the crappy part here. We never make the finished product. It's like the car batteries. We're getting a chemical plant for the car batteries instead of making the car batteries, where the chemicals are shipped in from Texas. And we do everything else and manufacture the battery. And wow, an electric car plant is on I-12 in Hammond or something. There goes Corey, daring to dream stuff that like Alabama and other places have done. Anyway, I digress, regress, whatever. No, we don't make the finished aluminum. We make one of the alumini or alumini or something. And the byproduct of the alumina or whatever the hell it's called is this toxic red mud. Anyway, when that toxic red mud dries, it's like red clay and the wind blows and that whole neighborhood gets dusted. And it is toxic. I think enough of it. What's amazing, why I say it sums up Louisiana, because we can see the dust. The people at Pelican Point, their cars, their houses, the windows, plants, shrubs. I mean, they're waiting for it to rain, to have all the dust go down the drain. Hope the wind doesn't blow their way for a while. What about the stuff we can't see or smell, or you can smell, you can't see? Just what's that foul odor? Well, we're breathing it in. And I don't know about you, just I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm not the dullest, just a common sense native New Orleanian, Louisiana native, obviously, too, that is pro oil and gas industry and chemical industry, not against it. We're on the Mississippi River. It's going to be here. But my God, DEQ and regulations have to exist. The inmates can't run the asylum. DEQ might as well be renamed oil, gas, chemical industry. They run it. They control it. They pollute. They know they can get away with it. When they do get caught, they get slapped on the wrist. They know the opportune times when to pollute, and they do it. They do it. They don't get caught most of the time. And when they do, there's no penalty. It's a joke. So they run things. So this, gypsum pile, like, what's that? The Gonzales exit off I-10 exit 177. You want to call it Nicholson Drive? I forget what Louisiana highway it is. Basically goes right into LSU. Basically runs you right by Tiger Stadium eventually. It's about 20 miles from Tiger Stadium when you get off of exit 177 right there. Puts you right in the front door in 20 minutes or so. But boy, you're driving right through the middle of Cancer Alley. And anyone who's driven through there, especially for the first time, you see that huge gypsum pile. Gypsum, this byproduct of making sheetrock. Just pile it up in Louisiana. Just pile it up. They're not piling up this red mud, I guess because it's wet at first. They just put it in huge ponds. I think this pond is 400 acres. 400 acres. Like, I'm trying to think of what, like, Lakewood Golf Course is right there off DeGaulle. That might be like 180 or something. It's like at least 2 of those, all ponds, right next door to Pelican Point. Pelican Commons, whatever those neighborhoods are in Gonzales. Right next door. The Times-Picayune photos are fantastic as far as what it shows you. But what it shows me, that's what we can see. This dust blowing, it is toxic. That gypsum pile, we can see it. What about all the pollution to our land, water, and air all over Louisiana by these oil and gas chemical plants? And we're breathing this crap all the time. It's not dust, but it might as well be. All the dust is showing you it's there. You know? Showing you it's there. I think natural gas is odorless, and don't they put a foul egg scent or something into natural gas? So if there's a leak, we smell it and can report it. Isn't that how that works? Natural gas is odorless, and they scent it with some foul smell, so we'll go, wow, that's natural gas. We know it is natural gas. I think natural gas is odorless. So we see the dust at Pelican Point. Cancer Alley, it's just a lot of it. No, there's no physical dust we see, and it's even worse, the stuff they're spewing out that it just flows in the air. It's clear. We can't even see it, maybe not even smell it. But it's really toxic and bad, and that's why that piece, the Times-Picayune and the photography, it's like, this is just showing you. This is sticking it in your face. And this stuff, this red dirt's probably a hell of a lot less toxic than the stuff that they're spewing out that we cannot see, that we don't know that's there. But they know it's there. Corey Johnson with you. Wide Open Wednesday. So many more topics. Don't move.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top bench and more exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. If you do not like your dry cleaner, you're putting on a button-down shirt and the button's missing, or the collar's messed up, or it's wrinkled in the pocket, or whatever, you're like, this is done right? You have to bring it back again? I mean, even if they're not charging you, that's happening just over and over again. If it's not just some random, anyone can make a mistake, even youngs. But if you're sick of your dry cleaner, tired of your dry cleaner, and simply want to experience the best, youngsdrycleaning.com. It's that simple. youngsdrycleaning.com. Check them out online. They've got walk-up locations with free pickup and delivery. They've got manless locker locations where you can put your dirty stuff in a safe, secure Young's locker and pick it up 2 days later, perfectly dry cleaned. Free pickup and delivery. Their manless locker locations, walk-up locations, youngsdrycleaning.com. You can sign up for free pickup and delivery home or office at youngsdrycleaning.com, or find out where their manless lockers are located all over the city. Maybe right under your nose where you live or work, didn't even know it. youngsdrycleaning.com. Our wide open Wednesday edition of the program continues. Look, I like this idea. It's long overdue, but there needs to be more done. The city has landed a $61.5 million grant from the federal government. That's a grant, not a loan, so it's no payback. Here's $61.5 million. It's to build walking paths and bike paths along the I-10 corridor in New Orleans East, along the existing service roads. But what really needs to happen, because let's be honest, it's great and it's a plus, but it's also like sort of I don't want to say a slap in the face. It's not that, but it's like, oh, great. We also have a bike path and a jogging path along the interstate. What there desperately needs is the same type of sound walls we see in Metairie in New Orleans East. We saw the pathetic little 3-foot wall with the fencing going up
along that little stretch where I-10 jogs north. You're going I-10 east. You come over the high rise. Right at Chef Highway exit, there's a left turn. The I-10 is going north now, not east anymore. Due north for what, a couple of miles, mile and a half or so? That should be sound walls all up and down that corridor for those neighborhoods, and because it looks like crap. All kind of hodgepodge houses, no kind of architectural nothing, just looks like crap, that northern little run right there, that north-south run of I-10 in between Chef and Morrison. So that should be sound walls instead of the little 3-foot one with the fencing. Looks like crap. It's an improvement, but it's crappy. And it doesn't block out the view for either side. And both sides want the view blocked out. And then all up through New Orleans East, it should be like Metairie, big sound walls up through there. The reason they don't have the sound walls, to get the sound walls, you have to expand the existing interstate. So the I-10 in New Orleans East, and they probably need to do this anyway, at least through Bullard. At least through Bullard, and really to I-510. To I-510, but at least through Bullard. You should have an expansion of I-10 because it's needed, 4 lanes in each direction in the east. And you get the sound walls. And now you've got this $61.5 million. You got your bike paths and jogging paths along an improved service road. And the service road, like in Metairie, it's on the other side of the flood wall, the sound wall. The interstate's on the other side, out of sight, kind of out of mind, much, much lower sound, a lot less. Now, here's the catch, and it makes sense. These sound walls only go in front of neighborhoods where people live, neighborhoods, apartments, condos, where people live, businesses, things of that nature. They don't build them there. And they shouldn't. It's for neighbors. It's for people that live 24/7, 365. They have this sound wall to block out the interstate. No, the only way the feds will pay for it, or the majority of it, you have to have interstate lane expansion. So coming off, I mean, the high rise is a nightmare. I mean, talk about expansion. You need to build like a second bridge. And I don't know how you do it at longer. I mean, I guess folks said that was like some kind of engineering marvel. I guess you build a similar bridge just straight up and straight down, but a second one, so each one's about 4 lanes in each direction. And then you have coming around that curve 4 lanes, and then you can build sound walls on that stretch in between Chef and Morrison, and then around Morrison, like I said, at least to Bullard, if not to I-510. But no, the reason that they don't have sound walls out there, because you have to expand the interstate by at least a lane for it to be available. But the city is getting $61.5 million. I mean, I don't live in the East. It's like the English Turn thing. I don't live over there. I want to see the service road and the fencing and all that improved. They're supposed to get some pedestrian bridges over I-10 where it'd be just like some tunnel where you just go up steps, can go across and go down, instead of these lunatics mangling the fencing. You know, the fencing doesn't have a top pipe, if you notice that on an interstate. So if you run off the road and run it over, the pipe doesn't go through the windshield and kill somebody. So the fence, any other chain link fence, you have the piping running across the top. Just a wire running across the top. So people climbing it over and over again. What, Blue Boy? As a basset hound, there are some spots
You're on the neutral ground. Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. No AC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. No AC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. Then we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all of the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
I thought we said last hour, no Cheers reruns. Corey Johnson, the neutral ground, coming your way. Here's Mr. Drew Brees from La Jolla, California. Yeah, you right. Thank you, number 9, for that introduction. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Cheers to you, not the program, just cheers. Some agua. Thanks for checking us out on the radio. Thanks for checking us out on television. Thanks for checking us out on YouTube. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson live on YouTube every day. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. For all our, places where you can check out the program, all the different spots, radio, television, live streaming like YouTube, just go to CoreyTalks.com, our website. Corey spelled Kaare, CoreyTalks.com. You can email us, suggestions, criticism, whatever, Corey at CoreyTalks.com. I told you, wide open Wednesday, a lot of topics in this 5 o'clock powwow, which, by the way, is brought to you by Helm Paint and Decorating. Helm Paint and Decorating, 55 years in Metro New Orleans, 7 locations, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, including Mandeville and Hammond. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, everybody knows you go to Helm. Painting experts, it's what they do. High quality Benjamin Moore products, everything you need to get that painting job done right. Like painting your home, like doing it once and never, ever having to paint again. Yeah, high quality, lifetime guaranteed Benjamin Moore products. Helm Paint and Decorating, 7 locations, free 2-hour delivery. You can do it all online. Pick your colors online, call a location. They'll bring everything you need to get the job done right to your door for free. Free 2-hour delivery. You just pay for the high quality Benjamin Moore paints and the products you need to get the job done right. But they'll bring it to you free in 2 hours, Metro New Orleans. Hey, Baton Rouge, you know by now, 4 Helm Paint and Decorating locations in Baton Rouge. That's right, Tiger Town. 4 Helm Paint and Decorating locations in Baton Rouge. What is it? Jones Creek, Choctaw, Perkins, Highland Road, plus free 2-hour delivery in Metro Baton Rouge. That means Bruley and Prairieville. That for Bruley on the West Bank, Prairieville out to the east, Gonzales out to the east. Free 2-hour delivery. Helm Paint and Decorating now in Metro Baton Rouge. Yeah, when you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, do it once, do it right. They'll steer you in the right direction. You go to Helm Paint and Decorating. Did I mention they're in Tiger Town now? 5 o'clock power hour. Brought to you by Helm Paint and Decorating on this wide open Wednesday. I thought this is some really great news. This Louisiana International Terminal. It's about time. I mean, the Port of New Orleans gets it. We're getting thumped by all these other ports that are growing, like Mobile. Mobile, Alabama has surpassed us in containers, moving containers each year. That's sinful. I mean, we should be doing 2 or 3 times what Mobile is doing, even though they're hyper aggressive at it. 2 or 3 times. We're the Port of New Orleans. I don't know, that kind of stuff burns me up. Have some pride. So you're a St. Bernard Parish resident. I mean, lots of chemical, the refineries, chemical and oil and gas industry stuff down there. Lots of cancer-causing crap, tank farms. I know it's jobs, but it's not ideal. If those places were like, we're going to expand and it's 200 jobs, people would be loving it in St. Bernard. But they're complaining that something green that's not going to pollute, not going to cause cancer. And it's the Port of New Orleans investing $2 billion in a terminal. Like, they believe in St. Bernard. They want to be in St. Bernard. Where they are now on Napoleon and Nashville, that's going to be abandoned eventually. And it'll all be at Violet, the Louisiana International Terminal. $2 billion, a godsend for St. Bernard. St. Bernard should be embracing this, not fighting it. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-boggling. It's great for St. Bernard. And this is the best part of it for residents, besides the downriver growth and what comes with it, retail and restaurants and whatever you're going to have around there, po' boy shop, whatever, dry cleaners, whatever stuff's going to go around there, grocery store maybe. The best part, you're going to have a elevated road from Violet and St. Bernard Highway going due north. Well, north, I shouldn't say due, northwest, connecting to I-510 and Paris Road. So you're going to have an evacuation route going north from Violet, from that part of St. Bernard, connecting directly into I-510. It's like all interstate from St. Bernard Highway, essentially. And the road's going to be paid for by the trucks paying a toll, not the local residents. I just don't see how there's a downside. The only thing St. Bernard residents should be doing is, hey, guys, here's the plan. We embrace this international terminal. We're on board with the port. We're working hand in hand with them. Everything the port's saying, we're in agreement with. But when you break ground on the international terminal, you break ground on the access road from Violet to I-510. And here's the kicker. When you cut the ribbon on the terminal, the container terminal, the Louisiana International Terminal, at the same time you're cutting the ribbon on the access road or opening the access road a week before the terminal, whatever. The point is, you use the airport as an example. Hey, guys, we've been here before in Metro New Orleans. New Orleans International Airport. Love the new terminal. But the terminal opens and the access road from the interstate to the terminal doesn't open for years later. We can't have this international terminal with the truck traffic and the folks working there and all the in and out, and not an access road from there, from right at that spot going northwest to I-510. So that's how you play that, St. Bernard. You don't fight this project. You embrace this project. You wouldn't be fighting an expansion of one of the refineries with 150 new jobs or something. You'd be embracing it, and it'd be 150 jobs and more polluted water, land, and air in St. Bernard. You already got enough of that. I drove through it post-Katrina. They had to hose off every vehicle by Jackson Barracks going into Orleans from St. Bernard, and this black, purple, I don't even call it dirt, like mud, soil, dirt, just wet, purplish black, about 4 inches thick, stuck to your car. Like driving your car, you could feel it was heavier because it was carrying hundreds of pounds of this toxic, petroleum, chemical-laced, blackish, purplish soil that was sticking to vehicles and not coming off, where they literally had to hose off your vehicle at Jackson Barracks. So that's in a lot of the soil in the land all over St. Bernard, like to hear it or not. And you'd embrace more of that, more oil. And I mean, it should be the opposite. No, there's a moratorium. We'd like to eliminate the refineries in St. Bernard eventually, relocate the tank farms in St. Bernard eventually. No, and hope that the Port of New Orleans doubles, triples the size of this international terminal over the next 20, 30, 40 years. And we grow with this green industry that doesn't pollute. St. Bernard, embrace it and parlay the road into the deal. That's what you do. And then everyone wins. This is, I don't live in St. Bernard. I don't have a dog in the hunt. I'm a Metro New Orleans guy. It's like me talking about the apartments by English Turn, whatever the topic is. This red toxic mud by in Gonzales by Pelican Point. Corey Johnson with you. Wide Open Wednesday. There is a restaurant where I used to get a salad, some mashed potatoes, and a chicken dish. And then they gave me a half a loaf, the little mini loaf of Leidenheimer French bread and the room temperature butter. They changed bread purveyors for some reason. So now I don't go to that restaurant. Leidenheimer French bread, Leidenheimer Baking Company only.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can anymore. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
I like Scott Craig's attitude. More of the good things. Hey, change can be a good thing. Down in St. Bernard, where life is hard, change can be a good thing. I mentioned, earlier in the week, this Miami campaign. We got to talk. And it's geared towards the spring break folks. They're like, we don't want you here anymore. All you do is come here and get drunk and break the law. Probably drives the real folks that want to go down to Miami Beach that are going to spend actual money, drives them away for that spring break period. Oh, you don't want to go down to Miami Beach. The spring breakers are there. No, so they talk the talk and they walk the walk. They're like, hey, by the way, we're going to have DWI checkpoints, bag searches. We're going to have strict enforcement of any drugs, that someone might have. You're going to jail. $100 parking downtown. Curfew. The beach will be closed at night. Just things that, if you're a spring breaker, you're like, I'm staying away from Miami. So they're talking the walk. They're walking the walk. They're doing what's best for their city. We need to take the same approach. We need to talk about reimagining Bourbon Street. And enough of the excuses like it's always been that way. Doesn't always have to remain that way. It's a toilet. It's a sewer. It's terrible. There's a reason we locals don't go down to Bourbon Street because it's awful. It's awful. Big ass beer, daiquiri shops, strip joints, prostitution, drugs, a lot of cash money that there's no taxes derived from it. And then the money that you are getting, it's very little. It's Jimmy and Brenda pulling up their truck, walking down to Bourbon Street, buying a few daiquiris, walking up and down the street for a few hours, get back in their truck and going home. Brenda spent $18. Jimmy spent $23. Let's reimagine Bourbon Street. We need to talk. Let's get rid of all the strip joints and prostitution and drugs and big ass beer and daiquiri shops and trinket shops selling shirts with vulgar comments and crappy Mardi Gras trinkets that no one wants, and reimagine it lit up bright, going deep into the night. It's Bourbon Street, going deep into the night with jazz clubs and restaurants and outdoor seating, and take it up a level or two. And then Royal Street wouldn't have to shut down. Royal Street, they shut down at 6:00. They put like fencing over the windows so some drunk doesn't throw his, beer bottle through the window and break it. Royal Street could be open till 10, 11, 12, midnight, past midnight, 1 a.m. Because you'd have those side streets all lit up and bright, and folks would be going between Royal and Bourbon and, eating at a great outdoor restaurant, enjoying some jazz music next door, walking around the block on Royal Street and buying an armoire and getting it shipped home. Instead of $18 and $23 a head, it's $180 or $230 or $1,800 or $2,300. Think bigger. I mean, we don't go to Bourbon Street because it's a toilet. Let's reimagine Bourbon Street and make it where locals would want to go, and then even more tourists and more conventioneers would want to go, more money being spent. It doesn't have to be what it is, just worthless. There is a reason we don't go down there. It's a toilet. Long overdue. Let's reimagine Bourbon Street. Make it one of the crown jewels, not the street where friends come in from out of town and go, let's go to Bourbon Street, and you're rolling your eyes going, dude, we don't really need to go down there. But then you feel compelled, like, I guess we got to show it to them. And then you're walking up and down Bourbon Street going, why'd I come down here? Let's make it a place we want to go. So that's an example of change that we should embrace. Change is good. Doesn't always have to be that way. St. Bernard Parish with the, I like the lazy parish. I like how it is, blah, blah, blah. I hear you. But, You're on the Mississippi River. There's lots of land available. The Port of New Orleans wants to move a major container terminal down there so the metro area can continue to be a player and not have Mobile, what they're doing right now, beating us in the container business. That's insane. If that doesn't piss you off, it should. So this is a Metro New Orleans thing. I'm a St. Bernard Parish resident. I'm embracing it. I'm going, man, I love this. Hopefully they shut down Napoleon Terminal in a generation or so and they do a second international terminal down here. You're getting an access road from Violet to the I-510 hurricane evacuation route. The trucks carrying the containers will pay the tolls, not locals. Long overdue. It's like the Florida Avenue Expressway, St. Bernard residents. Another east-west roadway that's been in the planning stages on maps proposed since the 60s. For like 60 plus years now, nothing's been built. The bridge for the Florida Avenue Expressway, it was $300 million was the planning for that bridge in 1987, 1988 when Buddy Roemer was governor. I was working at the Senate as an LSU student. It was part of the timed project, transportation, intermodal development, something, TIMED, timed. The time project had like 8 things. That Audubon Bridge over the Mississippi River Bridge that hooks St. Francisville to New Roads. And the expansion of the UEP Long Bridge locally. $1 billion+ expansion of the UEP Long Bridge. That was approved back in the 80s. When did they open the UEP Long Bridge expansion? A decade ago or something? I mean, it's crazy. No, part of that timed project was a $300 million bridge over the, Intracoastal Waterway. So the Florida Avenue Expressway could be built. No, St. Bernard residents, embrace it. Embrace the change. I mean, you want to know what it's really supposed to be? I-510 to a new Mississippi River Bridge going to the West Bank. No ferry, a Mississippi River Bridge. And then the Florida Avenue Expressway from I-510 to Florida Avenue at Elysian Fields by that Lowe's in between I-10 and I-610. It'd be like our version of Atlanta's Spaghetti Junction. It'd be I-10, I-610, Florida Avenue Expressway, all different directions, go anywhere, all in one spot. But they've never broken ground on that. No, St. Bernard, I mean, since Kaiser left, you get this international terminal. You get the access road to I-510, hurricane evacuation route, everyday road for you residents. You get lots of jobs, clean jobs, not an expansion of a refinery. Embrace this Louisiana International Terminal, St. Bernard residents, but demand that the access road from Violet to the I-510 is built simultaneously. You cut the ribbon on the access road a week before you open the terminal. St. Bernard residents, shout it loud. We don't want the airport situation where you open that beautiful state-of-the-art Louis Armstrong International Airport and the access road to the interstate's not there. We don't want that. Now, I'm St. Bernard resident. I embrace that. And I'd want the I-510. I'd want the Mississippi River Bridge. I'd want the Florida Avenue Expressway. I want it all. St. Bernard deserves it. I mean, right now you have St. Bernard Highway, which turns into St. Claude. And you've got Perez, West Judge Perez, that turns into Claiborne's. That's your east-west in and out of St. Bernard. No other east-west. That's insane. And then you have Paris Road as the only way out north to I-510 to I-10. So 3 ways out of St. Bernard. Is that right? Am I missing one? I don't think I am. I think there are 3 ways out of St. Bernard. There's St. Bernard Highway to St. Claude by Jackson Barracks. There's West Judge Perez to Claiborne by Jackson Barracks. And there's Paris Road North. That's it. Should be embracing this. St. Bernard's been getting sold out. They should have the Florida Avenue Expressway as well. Hey, TV audience, always a pleasure. Love being on your TV set all over Louisiana. Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333 viewers. We roll till 6 o'clock. We end our television broadcast at 5:30, but you can watch the rest of the show right now on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Otherwise, mañana. Yeah, 4 to 5:30 weekdays, Cox Channel 4 television. Every weekday, 4 to 5:30 on television. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette. If you're a Cox television subscriber, the number one TV provider in the state, I'm on Cox Channel 4 from 4 to 5:30 weekdays. If you're a Charter television subscriber, a.k.a. Spectrum, Slidell, Covington, Mandeville, Cheyenne Country, Hammond, Houma, Thibodaux, Opelousas, Spectrum Channel 333, weekdays 4 to 5:30, 90 minutes of fun every weekday, all over Louisiana. Thanks for checking us out on TV. But yeah, we're on YouTube. A lot of folks have YouTube television on the TV at home. So you can always check us out there. And like I said, click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost a thing. Send the link to a friend or loved one. Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, if you're beelining across the causeway right now, heading north, why don't you fire in a nice to-go order from Cheyenne? If you live on the North Shore, you know Cheyenne. Right at the foot of the causeway in Mandeville, critically acclaimed, nationally recognized. I mean, they have like top 25, top 50 Chinese restaurants in America. Independent, national folks doing it. Cheyenne's on that list. By the way, there are over 41,000 Chinese restaurants in the United States of America. You heard me right. Over 41,000. Go Google like a top 25, top.
You have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5. So you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Cheyenne in Mandeville.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Thanks so much for checking us out. I wish I could tell you like definitively how much money is involved in this project. I know 25 million definitely is. And I thought it was all secured. Talking about New Orleans East, Lincoln Beach, getting it redone. Then today there's a story breaking that there's another $4 million that was secured. I shouldn't say another. That $4 million was secured for a bridge, very similar to Crescent Park. 2 towers with a linear bridge with stairs and an elevator. At Crescent Park, you're bringing folks from, I guess that, what is that road on the river at that point? That could be like, I guess it's Decatur. Or is it Charters at that point? Anyway, there's a tower that's like 3 stories tall that has stairs in it and an elevator. And then there is another tower on the other side of the train tracks, the riverfront streetcar line, all of that puts you down in Crescent Park. Go down the steps, go down the elevator. So 2 towers with a bridge going across. This would be the same concept at Lincoln Beach. A tower in the parking lot, which those parking lots still exist. They're just overgrown with weeds. You can see them on Hain Boulevard. You folks that live out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Hell, the signs, those little V-shaped signs, Lincoln Beach parking, they're still mostly intact, believe it or not. 60 years later, they need a lot of work, paint, get the rust off, get some new signage with, parking, Lincoln Beach, but they should redo those to look like the 50s. It would be cool and nostalgic. So the parking lots are still there. They'd build like a 3 or 4 story tower in the parking lot. They'd build an identical one across Hain Boulevard, across over the flood wall, or on the other side of the flood wall, on the other side of the train tracks. And then they'd have a linear bridge, and it would be stairwell and elevator. And that's how you would enter Lincoln Beach. You'd park in the parking lot. You'd go inside this little doorway in this glass tower, and you either go up the steps or you get in the elevator, and then you go across on a bridge over Hain Boulevard, the flood wall, and the train tracks to another tower where you go down and you're at Lincoln Beach. Very similar design to the existing structure at Crescent Park. What I don't know is the exact amount of money, because the article says it's part of the already $24.5 million, and I don't know if that's true or not. I thought the $24.5 million was secured, locked and loaded. The city's got it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Now this $4 million for the bridge approved. Is that just, hey, there's 4 or 5 parts to get the $25.5 million, $24.5 million together? I don't know if that's the story, or it's $24.5 million plus $4 million more for the bridge. Regardless, all this is getting green lighted. I hope it's $28.5 million instead of $24.5 million, but whatever. Lincoln Beach, it looks like things are a go. I mean, knock on wood. I mean, seems like it. We'll see. The Times-Picayune had a brilliant piece today, I thought, complete with photos. Great photos that just, it sort of sums up Louisiana and our problems with the oil and gas industry and the chemical industry. I'm pro oil and gas and chemical industry. We live in Louisiana. We're at the bottom of the Mississippi River. That stuff's going to naturally gravitate to us. I get it. But that doesn't mean DEQ needs to be just toothless, worthless. Why can't DEQ be viable? Do their job. Department of Environmental Quality. Someone running, economic, opportunity, something to bring in jobs. That's a different deal. But DEQ, I want them worrying about the environment. Right now, the oil and gas industry run the DEQ. The chemical industry runs DEQ. The inmates run the asylum. They dictate. They pollute the land, the water, the air. They do it a lot. We catch them every now and then, and they get a little slap on the wrist. But when conditions are right and the wind's blowing right, or it's raining, or whatever the conditions might be, cold, hot, whatever, hey, we can get away with it. There won't be a fish kill. No one's going to know. They're dumping. You'd be a fool to think otherwise. And when they do get caught, it is a mere slap on the wrist by DEQ. They control it all. They control the politicians. They control the laws. They control the state. They control the industry. It's sinful. This red toxic mud, 400-acre site, these red mud ponds. It's a byproduct of not making aluminum, making alumina, I don't know what it is, the alumini, a product that you use to make aluminum. That's always us, huh? It's like this battery plant, the electric battery plant. We're not making the batteries for the electric cars. We're making the chemicals that they use in the batteries for the electric cars. We're doing the dirty work. There's no battery factory in Louisiana. There's no electric car plant on I-12. Wow, Corey, you're really dreaming. Is that water or vodka? It's water. Anyway, so this red toxic mud, these 400-acre pits, the mud will dry eventually sometimes. It doesn't rain. And we had a drought. And then you get the wind blowing, and this orange dust in the right direction just hammers the Pelican Point, Pelican Commons neighborhoods, hundreds of homes in Gonzales. And they're waiting for the rain. So the rain will wash this red toxic mud off their houses, their plants, their shrubs, their trees, their lawn, the driveway, the sidewalk, their cars, everything. Because when the wind's blowing in dry conditions, they get coated with this red toxic mud. So a fix is in the work. They're going to cap it with dirt, and supposed to have a sprinkler system that kept it wet so it wouldn't blow. Just crappy solutions. It just got me thinking. I mean, great Times-Picayune article, excellent photography where you see hundreds of houses, golf course community, and then right on the other side of it, just these red ponds, 400 acres worth. No, it's something physical. We see it. The wind blows, the dust flies. People are breathing it in. It's on their houses, their cars, their skin. They see it. How many oil and gas refineries, how many chemical plants release crap into the air, into the water, into our land that we don't see or smell and we're breathing it in, or we do smell it and we're breathing it in? That's only temporary. Yeah, and it's toxic. On your deathbed, that hour breathing that crap in, you would have lived another month or 6 months. Who knows? I'm just saying it's not good. It's not good for humans to be breathing. So we're in Chemical Alley, the whole corridor. You've got these red toxic mud pits in Gonzales. Up in Gramercy, you got that sheetrock material, the byproduct of sheetrock, this gypsum pile that is 6, 8, 10 stories tall. It's obnoxious. Just pile it up in Louisiana. No, the oil and gas industry, the chemical industry controls Louisiana DEQ, control the politicians, control the governor, just how it is. So I see this red dust flying. We can physically see it and it touches us and breathing it in. What about what we smell or for a little while or maybe don't smell and we're breathing in for days, weeks, months, years? To look, again, I am a proponent of the oil and gas industry and the chemical industry. They just should be regulated properly, and they're not in Louisiana. You know, the governor, like, we need to deregulate and let them grow the business and all. No, it's the opposite. They are wide open right now. Cancer Alley, that's no joke. No, I'm pro all of that. They have to be here. It's the Mississippi River. They're going to be here. So just regulate them. I'm not trying to make it difficult for them. It's like being a journalist covering a sports team. You're not the enemy. You're not a fan. You're not an enemy. You're not a fan. You're just doing your job, fair and objective, trying to be that. It's the same thing with DEQ, with the state. You're not an enemy of the oil and gas industry. You are a fan, actually. You're pro oil and gas. You're pro chemical, but we're going to do it right so we don't hurt citizens. Otherwise, go somewhere else. But in Louisiana, it's wink, wink, pollute all you want. Rip up the wetlands all you want. No, that this NOLA piece, the photograph is so telling. Pelican Point, Pelican Commons, and then this red toxic mud pit right next door to this nice area, nice neighborhood. No, the people deserve better than that, huh? Corey Johnson with you every day. This program on radio, television, YouTube, live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. Brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. Yeah, those guys. Ronnie Lamarck, Ronnie Jr., Lamarck Ford, 45 plus years, number one Ford dealership in the region. Lamarck Lincoln, number one Lincoln dealership in the state. And now they scooped up the legendary Ford truck dealership. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and now Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. Corey Johnson with you.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans, Leidenheimer French bread.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Hi, everyone. It's Tommy Wrong for AsbestosMoneyGrab.com. This is not, I repeat, not for folks with real asbestos problems. But if you're like me and were maybe taking a shop class in high school where you maybe breathed in some brake dust and you know for certain you're fine, but you're the type of person that takes advantage of these types of situations, get tested, lawyer up, and steal some money like me. Go to I'm not really hurt at all, but like exploiting the system for free cash.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. It's crazy. I was running heat yesterday, and later I was running air conditioning. If you need air conditioning or AC help, all you need to know is NOLAAC.com. That's River City's total maintenance. That's honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. What else do you want with an AC and heating company? I want honesty. I don't want to learn about it. I just want people I can trust. I want AC and heating experts, not messing around, replacing parts, not fixing it right. And if my AC or heat's not working right or worse, not working at all, I want them there yesterday, I want them to come immediately. You get that with River City's total maintenance. All you need to remember, NOLAAC.com. If you ever need heat or air conditioning help, NOLAAC.com. St. Bernard Port Authority must decide. Which side are you on? The Louisiana International Terminal side or the parish and their lawsuit against the Louisiana International Terminal? We don't want that here. We don't want that in Violet. Which side are you on? The St. Bernard Port Authority must decide. This is like a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. I mean, St. Bernard, shame on you if you don't take this clean container terminal, $2 billion investment, thousands of construction jobs for a few years, and then hundreds of full-time jobs, and then all the indirect jobs where businesses would open up around it. And then the kicker, you're going to get like a $500-600 million road from Violet to I-510, elevated expressway, that the toll will only be paid by the truckers, not the locals. Free road for locals, an access road north. So you have Paris Road and you got this road now going north to I-510. Long overdue. No, the way you do it is easy.
You embrace it, St. Bernard residents. You get with the Port of New Orleans. You get with the state. We embrace this project. We just have 2 caveats, and we don't think they're anything that you should be arguing with us about. Seems like you should be on board with us. We're on board with you on everything. Here's what you got to be on board with us. When you break ground on the terminal, you're breaking ground on the access road. And you cut the ribbon on the completed access road 1 week before you open the terminal. The access road opens a week before the terminal. We don't want the Louis Armstrong International Airport thing, where the airport's built and the access road to the interstate isn't built for years. So you've got some leverage. You can nix the whole deal if you want, St. Bernard. They'll go across the river to Plaquemine. You're just delaying the inevitable. Metro New Orleans is going to get it, or we lose out. We don't want to lose out. But you should embrace it, and then you can parlay it into the access road, another north-south road out of the parish. No brainer. No brainer. Yeah, I like lazy St. Bernard. I like how it is. I hear you. I hear you. I'd be embracing a clean Port of New Orleans, Louisiana International Terminal for St. Bernard. Here's the funny thing. These folks that are against it, ask them if the refinery down there or chemical plant, whatever down there, tank farm, hey, it's going to add 75 new jobs in St. Bernard, 100 new jobs. People would probably be all for it. It's going to be more chemicals and pollution and cancer-causing agents in the water, the air, land. This is a no-brainer. New Orleans East Lincoln Beach, $4 million for a bridge. Very similar to Crescent Park. 2 towers, about 3-4 stories in the air, a bridge connecting the 2 towers, stairwells in each tower, elevator in each tower. Crescent Park, it goes over the streetcar, the riverfront streetcar, the streetcar tracks, the flood wall by the river. This would go over Hayne Boulevard, over the flood wall, over the train tracks. 1 tower would be at Lincoln Beach, 1 tower would be on the parking lot, across the train tracks, the flood wall, and Hayne Boulevard from Lincoln Beach. Stairwell, elevator, great stuff. NewOrleans.com, Times-Picayune, check out their article on this red toxic mud. It kind of sums up Louisiana. This is something that's toxic that we can physically see. It's a byproduct of the chemical that we make, that we send off somewhere so they can make aluminum, this red toxic mud. When there's a drought or it gets dry and the wind blows, especially in the direction towards Pelican Point, Pelican Commons neighborhood, they are right next door. They get blasted by this red toxic dust. The fix is in the work by capping this, just putting dirt on top of it and grass. 400 acres of this. So if that exposed pit, we're getting the wind blowing in the wrong direction and the dust hits us if there's a drought, what do we breathe in that's hitting our skin every day maybe from these oil and gas and chemical plants up and down the Mississippi River in between New Orleans and Baton Rouge? St. Bernard and Baton Rouge. What from the mouth of the river to Baton Rouge? What are we getting blasted by that isn't like this red toxic mud where we physically can see it and feel it? That's what's scary, because DEQ doesn't run the Department of Environmental Quality. The oil and gas industry and the chemical industry in Louisiana does. National and international conglomerates, they own Louisiana. They pay off some legislators with campaign contributions, the governor, and away we go. Check out that article in the Times-Picayune. The city getting over a $61 million grant. That's just money from the feds, not a loan, to build bike paths, walking paths along I-10 in New Orleans East, along the service road. That's great. I think that's a good thing. What they need to do is expand the interstate out there, because then you get sound walls. So then all those neighborhoods have sound walls, and the new bike path and the new jogging path and walking path is on the neighborhood side of the flood wall, not on the interstate. What's up, Blue Boy? Thank everyone for checking us out. Thank Joe for producing the program. Thank everyone on TV, listen on radio, YouTube. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Click to subscribe. What else? Tell everybody we'll be back straight at 4 o'clock Thursday, mañana.
You're on the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.